Hey, it's your host, RJ Cash here, coming with your college football short of the week. We're looking at the early games, Clemson, Georgia Tech. We're going to get into Wisconsin and Alabama. If you catch, we already had our Thursday show, Washington and Green Bay breakdown, along with all the betting notes for that game, and all the week one NFL games are up on the site, breaktheboardsports.com. It doesn't cost anything, just quick hitter betting notes, no paragraphs, nothing like that. Just help you become a better handicapper. We're here every Monday and Thursday. Today we're doing a short, though, on college football, the early slate. Let's hop right into it. Again, you can go to breaktheboardsports.com. We're coming off a 24-9 weekend in college football. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about Memphis at Troy. Now, this one opened up 5. It's down to 3.5 at FanDuel. Your over-under sits at 50.5. Couple of betting notes about this. Memphis 4-0-1 against the spread their last 5 games. Memphis has went over the total 6 of the last 9 games they've played in. Straight up, they've been extremely solid. 6-0 straight up their last 6, 9-2 straight up their last 11 on the road. Troy, they've been no slouch. 16-4 straight up the last 20 at home, and they're around a 5-2 ATS mark their last 7 games. We talked about Memphis. 9-2 straight up, last 11 on the road. If you took Memphis on the money line, you'd be able to get that right now, minus 170. That's a high price to lay on the road. Couple of trends to break into when you talk about this is Memphis and Troy, they hooked up back in 2024 last year at Memphis. Memphis won that game 38-17. So they win by 21 at home. Now they're asked to go on the road and cover the 3.5. Should be an interesting, nothing from our team here on that one. Again, notes on this game will be up tonight. Breaktheboardsports.com, where we have notes on every college football game, every NFL game, to help you become a better handicapper. Next on the docket, we have Wisconsin and Alabama. Now, this one has jumped around a little bit. 21.5, 21. You can actually find a 20.5 I saw popped up earlier today. I thought that was very interesting. I thought, if anything, the line should go up. The Badgers, they're 2-5, both ATS and straight up over their last 7. They're 2-6 straight up their last 8 games versus an SEC opponent. Alabama, 14-6 straight up their last 20. But more impressive, the Tide are unbeatable at home. No, literally unbeatable. 13-0 straight up their last 13 at home. They're 9-3 ATS their last 12 against the Big Ten. Now, these two teams matched up last year in Madison. Alabama went in there and rolled them 42-10. They gave it to Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin, a couple trends for them. They've hit the first half money line 8 of their last 12. Right now, they're plus 650 at DraftKings on that. If you had taken Wisconsin money line and just rode that trend, you'd be up 8.75 units, 15% return on your investment. Now, Alabama, they're minus 485 on the money line for the first quarter. Last 5 at home, they've dominated the money line in the first quarter. That would put you up 5 units, but only a 17% return on your investment. The over-under for the first half in this game is 24.5. Wisconsin has hit that first half game total under 9 of their last 12, so 9-3 to the under first half for Wisconsin. 24, there's a bunch of 24s out there, but if you can find a 24.5, FanDuel has that. I think that's extremely great value to be able to get to. They're in that one. Huge, huge, huge. If you can get the under 24.5, if you want to play that. Wisconsin, they got to slow this game down. Alabama's got way too much firepower for them to go in there and try to compete in a slinging contest with them. A couple other things as you look at this. Wisconsin 1-4 their last 5 ATS as a dog. So when they're a dog, they haven't barked very well at all. The over has hit in 8 of Alabama's last 11 games, which that's pretty impressive for them as well. For me, I think Alabama, if you can find some 21s, is a great teaser leg out there. Get them at that 2 touchdown mark, maybe in a super teaser, obviously a way to go. 21's a heavy number to lay, but there's no way. I'm a dog guy. I'm a contrarian. but there's just no way I can step out there and even think about taking Wisconsin in this one. No how, no way. Oregon, next up on the docket. Now, Oregon gave it to Oklahoma State last week. Remember, we had the Gundy and Dan Lanning going back and forth, which I don't know why in the world Gundy even got involved in that. He had no shot of being Lanning, so he should have just, zipped it on that one. Oregon laying 27.5 on the road. You're over under 48.5. Oregon 4-1 against the spread its last 5 games, 7-0 straight up the last 7 at home. The Wildcats there at Northwestern, they really struggled, but I think they're starting to turn things around a little bit. I like this new coaching staff, like what they're doing. It's just going to take a while to repair that program. 4-9 ATS the last 13. The total has went over 5 of Northwestern's last 7 games, so 5-2 to the over the last 7 for Northwestern. That 48.5, I think that's a good number. Heck, Oregon could get 35 themselves. You're just kind of looking for Northwestern to get in double digits, which I think is possible. Oregon next week has the Civil War with Oregon State. So for me, I think this is very much a business trip for Oregon. They go in there, win the game, covering 27.5. I don't know, but I think you can definitely be hanging around this number and have a chance. For me, it would be over or nothing. Northwestern 1-4 straight up its last 5. Northwestern 2-5 ATS their last 7 games at home. Not a whole lot there to write home about. Again, Oregon 14-1 straight up the last 15 versus the Big Ten. They've went over 4 of the last 5 when Oregon's been a favorite. So again, over. Oregon's hit the over, the game total over in all 5 of their last games. So again, huge play to the over is where I would lean and look at this one. If I had to make a bet, and I may even fire on that over 48.5 there. Central Michigan and Michigan next on the board. Michigan, they're laying a hefty number as well, coming off that loss to Oklahoma. Michigan laying 27.5. And this one is really interesting because I want to see how they respond, right? Michigan, there's a lot of things about the quarterback, the coach. Just want to see how they respond after this one. They're catching a dead team. Central Michigan 1-11 straight up their last 12 on the road. But they're 4-2 ATS their last 6 games. They've hit the under 4 of their last 6 games overall, as to where Michigan 6 straight games have flown over the total. This one sets at 42.5. Michigan didn't look very good week 1 against a very inferior opponent and against New Mexico. Now they go to Oklahoma on the road. They lose. I expect Michigan to come back, and I want to see that offense just explode. We haven't seen that yet. That's starting to raise some questions with Coach Jerome. So I'm just interested to see where that thing goes from here. These two teams haven't locked up since 2013. When they did, it was 59-9 Michigan in that one. Again, you would think Michigan would have a blowout here, but I just can't lay 4 touchdowns with the Wolverines until I see that offense pick up a little bit. It just hasn't been up to par at all. A couple other big numbers. Auburn laying 24.5 at home to South Alabama. Baylor laying 47.5 to Samford. That's an extremely large number. But the big one, let's get into it. 12 o'clock on Saturday. Clemson at Georgia Tech, and has this line just flown around everywhere. This line, you had a 5.5. Now there's 3s across the board. Couple 2.5s popping up. And I got to tell you, I understand Clemson may not have looked great these first 2 weeks, but I don't think there's any way in the world that they should only be a 2.5, 3-point favorite. Clemson has reeled off 9 in a row against Georgia Tech. You heard me, 9 in a row against Georgia Tech. And this Clemson team is probably the best they've had since that Trevor Lawrence team when they won the national championship. For me, when I get into this game, again, I think the number is just way too short. Now, I get it. Clemson, 1-6 ATS their last 7 games. But listen, they're 5-1 against the spread the last 6 when they've hooked up with the Yellow Jackets, the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech. The under has cashed 6 of the last 9 games for Clemson. Your over-under sets at 51.5. For me, I don't think I could get there on the under. I think you could see Clemson just erupt this game. Georgia Tech has went over the total 4 of their last 5 games, and 4 of the last 6 head-to-head have went over the total as well. Again, Georgia Tech 4-2 ATS their last 6. Clemson 5-1, again, their last 6 ATS. I just like Clemson here. Listen, they're 1-6 ATS their last 7. We just talked about that. But this is a team 15-5 straight up their last 20. Typically, they're slow starters. When they've played at Georgia Tech, more importantly, on the road against the Ramblin' Wreck, head-to-head, 8-3 ATS. They're 10-1 straight up the last 11 versus the ACC. I just absolutely got to believe Clemson gets this done. I found a couple minus 150s out there. I think that's extremely good value. Clemson is the play here. Lock it in. Clemson minus 150. You might even have to pay a minus 155. I'm one of the biggest believer not laying juice on the road, but this one's just too juicy to pass up. BreakTheBoardSports.com. All the rest of the noon games will have notes up on the site. Break the Board Sports. Again, go to that notes blog section. We have all the 1 o'clock games for the NFL up. We will begin another short later on coming out on Friday. That'll hit your 3:30 games with USC, Purdue. You'll have lots of games there. Georgia, Tennessee, we'll get into that and break that down. Click that like button. Hit us a subscribe. Check us out. We give out information to help you become a better handicapper. Yes, we sell picks for $1.37 a day, but it's more about helping you become a better handicapper. BreakTheBoardSports.com. I'm your host, RJ Cash. God bless and